It's time. We need some coffee.
Go on, little buddy. Get on over there.
Woo! Boop. Beep. Boop. Boop. Just a little bit. Oh, come on, come on. Oh.
Oh, mama.
Now that we've had our coffee, it's time for the stream to begin. Good morning, Irony. Grab your pens, grab your brushes. Let's get creative. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a stream with the...
Wait, we gotta do this right.
Ultimate Kahuna!
And a Mr. Evaleigh Music.
What's up, everyone?
Hey guys, for me, this is like 7:40 in the morning, so...
Yeah, really.
Good morning, Chris. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good there, Kahuna. I'm a little bit tired. I stayed up a little bit too late yesterday, I think, and I thought we were going live an hour earlier than we were.
So that was my bad. I mixed up the time zones. I was like,
that was me. I was like coming up on time. I was like, all right, man, head down to the studio, and I like double checked the time. I'm like, we're gonna be an hour early. All right, that's fine. But yeah, so I'm all right.
absolutely,
See if my brain works here. If I can actually talk and put coherent.
I'll give you a couple. Well, we have a
Brain.
couple things I need to do real quick anyway. So let's say hello to the chat. Since the beginning, we have Devil's Air. Ooh! I need to start doing metal music anyway. We have Maji-chan. We have Ragmar Virillion. We have Richard from Evaleigh or from Iron Age Media popping in just to say hi. What an awesome hombre!
Hail to the
And
king.
yeah, that's fantastic, man. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah,
Cheers
thanks,
to
guys.
you.
Yeah.
Also, take off this coat because it's too bloody hot inside to wear a coat. Actually, yeah, Evaleigh, talk to them for a second. I'm realizing this isn't appropriate for stream.
Hi everybody. Yeah, I usually have a fan running in the room at all times. Hopefully the mic doesn't pick it up just because it can get a little toasty sometimes, but it's also well, I won't go into it. I'm very excited today to be talking to you all and to be going through The Blind King by Animated Moon. The dude's an awesome artist. I think a lot of people in here have seen his live streams before as well. And it's really cool to see the product being made and then to see it live. And I think this is going to be a good episode of what we're doing here because we're going to be going through it with you. So if you haven't read it yet, you'll get a chance to experience it with us. And if you have read it, it's a chance to contribute in the chat and point out things that maybe we would have missed and things along those lines. But because it's free and because it's digital, it's very easy for us to throw this on screen and just go through it. And it's also, you're going to find, if you're not familiar with the comic, it's not tons and tons and tons of dialogue. Oh, okay. Now the pieces are clicking together.
So sorry, guys. I had to get properly dressed here.
That's much more proper.
Yeah.
I'm ridiculous.
Oh, that's what I want. That's what I was going for, man. I did realize one small problem, and that is because of how I have my webcam angled. I have like one tiny corner. I had to go stand. Also, gotta do a little Iron Age represent, little chill kid. Love that.
Nice.
Love that S, man. It's fantastic. So, were you in the chat behaving? I don't anticipate it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, today, as the title and description hopefully says, we are going to be going over The Blind King, Part 1 and 2 by the Animated Moon. And what little dialogue exists, we will read, and we're going to go over the whole thing. He has it for free on his website, and at some point he's talked about putting this into a physical edition, and it started off as a whole experiment. It started off as an experiment, and then it transformed into a series of experiments. So this is going to be a little bit out there. Would you say that's true, Evaleigh? It's very out of the norm. It's out of left pocket a little bit.
Yeah, it's. I think it's definitely a different experience than other comics I've read so far. Is it cerebral? Is that the word? It's a little bit more abstract, I guess you could say.
Abstract is a perfect word for this
It's,
specific project. At first, it was just him trying to like learn how to emulate Mobius in his art a little bit more, and then he turned into a kind of an experiment in storytelling, so to say.
Yeah, it's sort of like smoke. It's like there's things there, you can see something, or maybe like a cloud, like seeing a picture in a cloud. There's things there that are definitely there, but there is a lot of like mystery and blendiness.
A lot of this action.
There's a lot of hand motions as you're reading. Yes, a lot of that.
Calm down. Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's too early. It's not early. It's just early for a Saturday when I stayed up till like 2 a.m. working on stuff.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Alrighty then. So I'm going to transfer you beautiful people over here. Especially this one. No. And then I will bring up the Blind King. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? And present. No. Share screen. We are professionals. Entire screen. There we go. Oh, I'm so happy. There we go.
Hey.
Present. Should we keep our beautiful faces on here, or should we just kind of focus on the art? I feel like we should maybe just focus on the art.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's see how it looks. Okay. If you guys really miss us, we'll come back. All right, we didn't really talk about how we were going to do this, but since I'm wearing his shirt, I'm going to play the new in the background, the new Try Hard album by Chill Kid. You guys should definitely check it out. I just bought it on iTunes myself the other day. I realized we had a show like hosting the launch of it, so to say, giving little previews and such, and I hadn't actually bought it. I was like, whoa, we got to correct that. So, yep, we will be doing... We'll have Try Hard in the background, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me if it's too loud or too quiet. Can you hear that, Evaleigh?
Yeah. I think so far, I think that sounds good.
Sweet. All right, so we'll be going through The Blind King. Yeah, like see this art. I'm already getting like the old painterly comic. French like Mobius kind of vibes from this already, just based on this like little intro screen here.
Yeah, it's very, very. There was a PS3 game called Journey. I forget what studio was behind it, but this is very reminiscent of that. Similar color palette, the character with the kind of flowy red cape, all of it, just even the desert kind of vibe. It's very Journey. I don't know if you've ever played that before, but you can definitely see that influence here.
Was it also was it multi-platform or was it just PS3?
I want to say it did get ported to PC at some point, but I think it was initially an exclusive on PS3. I think it came to PS4 later too, but I'm pretty sure it's on PC. Not sure about Xbox and all. I think it did eventually, but
there we go. Zoom in just a tiny bit more. Yeah, look at yeah, dude. Oh wait, is this not the comic? It should be.
No, this is just his kind of art page. I was wondering. I was like, this is not the front cover I'm looking at on my screen over
This
here.
is not the thing. Here we go. We know what we're doing. I know. Anyway, I know what I'm doing. Let's see. Comics.
Yep, it should be the comic, and then you can click the left one is the first one. Yeah.
There we go. The Blind King. Also, like you gotta appreciate, man, and like we'll try not to talk too much throughout, just because we want to display the art. But look how he does shadows on people. Like on hard surfaces, it's like hard shadows, but on people, especially ones that could be moving or not stationary, the shadows are softer. I don't know how he does it, man, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that that choice with a lot of that soft blending with certain elements ties into larger themes and just kind of the tone of the work itself.
Oh, absolutely.
It all melds together.
And plus, and it's interesting too because the way the character, the way that she acts. Spoiler: it's a woman. She's blind, so she has to go through this war. Like we're the ones maybe have a slightly more enlightened idea of what's actually happening throughout this story. So go up here. How about you read? We'll switch off reading pages. You can read this page if you're up for it already.
Okay. Let's see. This is not my choice. What has brought you to us, child? Do you wish to join us? I wish for nothing, yet I find myself here. This bastion is a place of solace for the blind, a place of purpose in this world for us. But that is not what you wish for, is it?
Wow, look at the eyes, dude. What does
Yeah.
she see? It's like that she's seeing something. Like she's blind, but she sees more than
I'm not sure. It's like a clock. Is it a planet? Is it a reflection in the eyes? It's one of the early mysteries.
I'll read page 2. Let's see. This will be your symbol, as it is for all of us. I will know. Come. You will know why you were here.
So here we're getting the masks, right?
Yeah, the mask. It's like what? I mean, if you're blind, the mask it's not going to impair your vision. It seems to be some sort of symbol of their order or office.
Yes, and I can see the character here putting the mask onto the blind character we were just looking at has some kind of markings in that top right panel on the hand there.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah. Like almost like this person looks like they could be diseased in some way. Like like leprosy or something, right?
Right. And I really want to point out the texture work on this blue panel at the bottom left here. He's got this. It's not cross hatching. It's just like the line work there, but it creates this cool pattern in the background. And I was looking at this trying to find like, is there words hitting in there or symbols? Is it tying into even the there's a little blue circle kind of up above the two characters' head that is not textured like that. And I'm like, is that tying into the markings on his arm? Because it looks like the exact same marking, just kind of mirrored and blown up from the panel above it.
It could be. In this case, I don't suspect so. I'm going to zoom in just a touch, guys. There we go. And also, a lot of artists would have just had an almost plain wall here, but he added this very subtle texture using lines and then lighting details. You can see a gradient from purple going up to kind of bluish gray green up here, and it's really well done, man. This lighting is fantastic.
And then again,
also,
we have
on this panel here, how the shadows kind of just softly obscure the pillars.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before, kind of with it being like a cloud. Like there's something there you can see it's pillars, but it just kind of like, again, like smoke or something, just kind of fades into this what's back there. And I'm not sure. There's a lot of symbolism all throughout the masks. There's patterns on the masks, these kind of swirly deals going on, and then of course on their cloaks here.
The circles intertwining in the middle to form like a little triangle almost.
Yeah.
And like because we know Moon. What is like we're wondering the whole time, what does this all mean?
Right. All right. So she gets the mask. This is gonna be a symbol, as it is for all of us. Okay. And
come, you will know why you are here.
Right. Wasn't her choice. She's gonna find out why she's here.
This will be your page.
All right. We are here. Do you wonder why we call upon the blind to serve in this place? It is not my place to wonder. Forgive me for what comes next. But you must see why we are here. Why you are here.
I love the like I said, this isn't a dialogue heavy comic, but the dialogue is impactful. Partially because of the mystery and how it just continues to add to the mystery as you go. It doesn't lessen it. It doesn't give you the relief that you expect dialogue may give in a story like this.
Yeah, so grabs the hand and puts the hand against some kind of giant something.
Maybe it could just be a wall. We'll have to see.
It's just a random wall. Here. So I hear like wrong wall.
Whoa, what the hell? This looks like a bird or something. Or
Yeah,
some
this
sort
is
like you see like it almost looks like horns and like or wings or something. Like this is
right. And it's got that same kind of flowy nature to it that we saw on the masks earlier as well. So I don't know if that's just decorational style. If it's just the guy, he's his interior decoration choice. He's like, I love swirls. We need some more swirls of the wall, the blue.
Guys, we have an aesthetic. We have to keep it up. And yes, Maju-chan, Animated Moon has a tremendous ability with shadows and lighting. And he uses both his line work and his color to create those effects, and it's pretty impressive to see. Also, it looks like a door, but almost the way he drew this in Evaleigh, it almost looks like a wall of reality being lifted up. Like, see here on the left side, the way this
it's like a curtain or a veil.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll skip to the next one.
So this first frame, it's like a giant black obelisk, a black nothing. I'm like, is that what they were just looking at? So it went from glowing to being just nothing? Is that what we're seeing here?
Well, the thing is, we have to take into account, there's two things here with the art. They're blind, so they can't see everything that we're seeing. And their reaction has to be based on other feelings and other senses. And other intuitions. And also, the art, I believe the art sometimes emulates their blindness. Like, we don't see everything that we should be seeing in some ways. So I'm wondering, is this just a black, portal to somewhere? Or is it just our, the lack of sight that they possess?
Yeah, it's interesting.
All right, this is my page, so let's see. It has no eyes of its own, reaching out for those it can take. That is our purpose, to keep it as blind to the world as we are. I will show you where you will be living. And you'll have to forgive me again, because I had a different idea of what this character sounded like. It's interesting how you have him sounding too.
Tripping you up. It's that panel though. It's like everything's dark and not very cold palette on the previous panel, and now he's going to show this character where the character will be living. Yes, and this page is so different. All right.
Also, look at the etching on the wall there. It's implying that they can feel it and kind of understand. Almost like one of those textured books that people read.
And this has remnants of the hieroglyphics going on there as well, and that style, and the character with the arm matching, kind of mirroring the same thing. So it's like a history there, both in their world, and it's got the tie-in directly with kind of our understanding of the world and this hieroglyphic style, at least for me, being something ancient. So it's got that familiarity, even though it's this world I don't believe is our own.
Oh yeah, it's not. Also, look at how close these her body or his body and character are to mirroring the etched image on the wall directly behind it.
Exactly.
And then, what's this? It looks like a person causing a cascading of something down that connects here. I have a lot of questions, man.
Yeah, and I think that's the allure of this in a lot of ways, is that as you continue reading, you learn a little bit here and there, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this, there's still a lot of mystery. I don't know that we'll ever get all of the answers.
Yeah.
So
this will be your page, so I'll let you read this one.
This is a strange place. Something dangerous is trapped in the wall, and I know they've all seen it. They stand over their own graves, and yet they remain. But I have seen a fate more terrifying than even this. A way out.
And see, here's this character again. For those who haven't seen, he has an animated short about the Blind King that he made before he actually started working on the comic. And this character is in that as well. And it's a very, I'm like, is this a sentient? Is it a person? Is like a person? Is it just a spirit of some sort? Look at your little orb here. It's very mysterious. And also the like the way he did the landscape here is very like old comic book style as well. For those who have not read a lot of older comics, it's like very simple colors and shapes that really depict distance and things very, very well. Like how the colors get more or less saturated the further away they are, which is true of life in most cases as well.
Yeah. Now, the first panel, characters saying, "There's something dangerous trapped in the wall. I know they've all seen it." So whenever they say see, they don't mean with their eyes. I assume it's more like a deeper level seeing. You don't think that's literal, right?
See a fate. I don't know. It feels like they have power of some sort. Well, I don't know whether it's granted by their blindness or not. I don't believe it probably is, but I feel like they've found a place for these people here that normal people would not be able to emulate and create. Also, I'm going to answer Timo here. He says, "IDK who this person is, but they clearly know how to lay out comics well." Yes, Timo Burnham, Mr. Author Man yourself. Yes, this is the Animated Moon. He has a YouTube channel that's criminally underwatched and underrated. And he has done art for quite a few people at this point. He's done illustrations and book covers. That Evaleigh's design there on that shirt, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and totally different style than this too. So he's got a lot of versatility in terms of the different art he can create. Really talented fellow. His live streams are awesome too. Like the best music in a live stream.
I know. And even though it's like copyright and royalty free occasionally, YouTube people are like, no, we can't have that.
Yeah.
It's a very abusive relationship, actually.
So here they're seeing this big, wide open, landscape area. Yeah, and it's pretty vast. It looks nice. Got some water out there, sun shining. There's no birds, but they're probably out there somewhere, right? And yet they're saying that they've seen a fate more terrifying than this, which is a way out. So
I think the fate more terrible than this is referencing directly they stand over their own graves, and yet they remain, implying some sort of living death.
Yeah,
at least in my mind. Whether that's physical, actual, or metaphorical is as yet unclear. But
right.
And also, I love when this is very much from Japanese storytelling here. They imply an answer to a question, and then they show a character or person or object with the answer as the answer. It's all simultaneously working together. It shows this character a way out.
Yeah, and it's funny because this character, you look at it, and it doesn't strike you in the sort of expected way of a menacing character, and yet you look at it and you're like, that is kind of terrifying. Like something about it just seems off, but it's not like, big monster with, red eyes and sharp teeth or something. It's
like the visual, like the mystery of it adds to its kind of fear factor, I say, that exists, but the way it's posed and the way it's colored and the way it's framed is like heroic, like almost mythical.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go to the next page. And you read that last page, correct? Or was that
correct?
Right? Okay. And here we have chess. It's time to duel. This is what it wishes. You seem to have settled in since you first arrived. Do you truly wish to learn? Oh, I love that, man.
I don't know chess, but this is I don't know how to play the game, but I understand the dynamics of it on some level. And again, this gets back to like the hieroglyphic sort of etchings, that there's something in our world. In this case, it's literally this is literally just a straight up chessboard, right? There's nothing different about it compared to our reality, correct?
I'm looking at it, and no, it appears like a very standard, very generic standard chessboard.
So that's
Perhaps
also
with brown
yeah.
with brown pieces rather than black, but that's less important.
Yeah, it's so there's another familiar touch point to our reality, except in this case actually represented there, just like the hieroglyphics. Not like those tie-ins like that. I think it's clever. And obviously, I believe in the top right, our character here is holding, that's a pawn, correct?
I'm going to scroll up. Yes, that is a pawn.
Okay. So the symbolism there, yeah, right. Exactly.
Also, is it just me, or it's implied that there's been a bit of a she's been here for a couple of days, but like I swear that these marks were not on her hands before.
There was one other panel where you could see a little bit of it, but I don't know if it was as pronounced.
I know he had a lot of marks on his arms and hands.
Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah.
Maybe those marks indicate, maybe it's something that leads up to the blindness, and I'm not sure. But I do believe an earlier panel, I did see a little mark on our younger character's skin as well, but it seems more
Pronounced.
Yeah, like maybe it's developing. And I can't tell how the passage of time. This is one of these things where, has it been a couple days? Has it been a couple weeks? Has it been longer than that?
You seem to have settled in since you first arrived. It does imply that it's been it's been some time, but it's been a relatively short amount of time.
Right. I don't think it's been years or anything, but
okay.
And the background here, I mean, there's an environment and everything else. It's almost like the things that are not important to the scene have been completely removed, and you just have a spotlight on the characters shining down on the board. And even where they're sitting, it's implied there's seats there, but it's only directly under them, like stools, but you don't see the seats in the first panel or anything else. So it's interesting. It's very stripped down to make sure.
There are no seats. Look at this bottom right panel. They have one leg up, implying they're on one knee.
Oh, well, I saw the line directly like where their butt would be kind of there. So I was like, is that the outline? But you might be right. Maybe they are kneeling down. So that's even. Yeah.
Either that or they're both sitting in a very strange, like, man spreading position here.
But. But I was just going to say, the way that it's just stripped down to give you, like, you just need, these are the only things you need to focus on. We got the light shining on it to really make it stand out. And you don't need all that background noise. We don't need to see the stone columns in the background or whatever else.
And plus, like, with them being blind and them learning chess and playing chess, the background, like, they're blind. What's happening around them isn't important. All that they need to know is what's directly in front of them, especially since they can't see anything.
Right. I think that helps I think we're saying the same thing, just in slightly different ways.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And then, real quick, do you truly wish to learn? Bada bang. Let's go. All right, this is your page, brother.
Does he know? You know you have a place here, but the choice is yours. The choice is always yours, and it will bring with it consequences. That is the first lesson. I have never had a choice. Now, as this panel continues downward, right? Okay.
Yeah, the last panel is on the right.
Okay. You have much to learn. You are eager. Most are afraid of the apparition. I do fear it. What is this king in the wall?
Oh, and see, now we're tying into the name of the story here, and implying that the person in the wall is a king as well, and not just like a blind king, but the blind king. I wonder what he is or what he represents. That's very curious. Also, what a basic first move. Anyway, I'm like,
king me. That's all I can. Checkers.
That's checkers, man.
I know. That's like I said. I never learned chess. I like the horsey.
No, and again, the background's still obscured.
Yep.
We can't we're even starting to obscure like the lower parts of their bodies here. Like, look here, it's all in shadow in this little panel right here. And they're
And-
playing chess. Oh, he's going for a weird one. Okay, sure. Yeah, no,
the very
they're
first
completely-
words of this entire book. Do you remember what they were? Page 1.
Of course I remember.
First, it was, "This is not my choice." That was the very first words on the very first page. And now here we are, we're playing chess. And this taller character is saying, "The choice is always yours."
Yeah.
And then the
I'm
repetition never had a
curious
choice.
if she was exiled here in some form or fashion.
That's what I'm wondering.
It does, like, man, like, you know how they used to have leper colonies and such
Yes.
for people. I wonder if they treat people with blindness or whatever condition these people may have the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there is a place for you. It's just not here.
And so that kind of twist on it, like, you always have a choice. That's interesting. It's like, well, you feel like maybe you didn't, but maybe it's like you're not constrained to the hand you're dealt, that you always have a choice, even if the circumstances are not completely of your own making.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to see what she does with the hand that she's been dealt, and whether she chooses to stay the course or go her own way.
She was dealt a scabby hand.
Oh, that's
No.
crude. That's crude. Also, animation overlord. He's even getting technical with it. He's like, "Oh, pawn to G3. Off, please." All right. Let's skip it. Next page. It can be challenging to remember all the pieces in such a complicated system. Every decision compounds as you travel further into the game. You cannot second guess your move. Otherwise, you will be dead, led astray by your opponent. Very topical with this being a chess. Whoa. With this being a chess game.
Oh, weird. All right.
Also, this is directly tying into what you were just talking about too, with the her knowing her place and like playing her part, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to travel further into the game. Traveling into the game of their existence. Surely it's not just the chess game here. Be led astray by your
and the thing is, like, too, earlier that she had the pawn. A pawn is a very important piece in the grand scheme of everything, but individually, it's worth less than any other piece. And so it's like, play your part, and that'll be it. Actually, we were joined by AC Pritchard. He
Nice.
says 2 of my favorite kahunas. We got 2 large, low-hanging kahunas on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are your other two favorite ones? Never mind.
Oh, that's more like, I can't say that. Anyway. Reminds me of cooking anime. I love when people get to a show late and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? This is what I think's going." It's fantastic, man. Oh, no, kind of. This is a chess scene in a comic called The Blind King by the Animated Moon, AC Pritchard. And this is, yeah. Also, I love when a page likes to go hard and like go in on one specific detail. The way the dialogue flows right to left and right again, following the motion of the piece that he's moving. That could be a bishop as well. Ooh, checkmate.
Got him.
Also, checkmate. And so he's talking about the pieces, how they all play their part, and now he just won, and she lost.
And on the next panel, she's gonna throw the board on the floor, right?
And say, "There's no witnesses. No one knows you won."
All right. I have much to learn. He knew somehow. He knew. I cannot stay.
Sorry.
I need to know. The pieces are unclear. The potential seems infinite. How do I know the right choice? What will I become?
What a perfect line to end a panel on as well. And like Moon, he's being very experimental with this story, but he knows comics. He knows art. He knows how to deliver elements of a story. Ending pages on declarative statements, answers, or questions. That's how you do it. Wrangler says, "Flip the chessboard." That's how you always win.
That's what I was saying. This game sucks. I'm going home.
Losers.
Yeah.
All right, this will be me. I have learned much since coming here. The routine has been pleasant. It all feels so normal now, after almost a year. Despite what lurks deep beneath the earth, it's strange. But more men approach. These days cannot last. Oh no.
So total change, like they're going outside, everything's very bright again, like we saw earlier. And I like the top panel with the they need the tapping sticks. You know, she's just walking around with her hand out.
That'll be great until she catches something with her foot. Yeah.
Hold up. Is that kid at the well reading a book?
Very good catch. I was wondering if you'd notice. I was going to bring it up when you were done. Yeah, he has a book, but he does have his hand in it as well. It may be Braille or something, or their world equivalent.
And we're getting the sense that there's quite a few of these people in this. I don't know what you call it, wherever they're living. We get at least three more characters here.
It's a commune of people who believe the same things in the same ways.
She's going to the Kool-Aid well. It's interesting, too, that the other three characters, there's no design. There's nothing on their mask. It's just blank.
And I am curious if that is just a time-saving measure or if that's an artistic choice.
I think it's got to be an artistic choice.
With Moon, I suspect so as well, but it's... Yeah. Also, it's so interesting how and when he chooses to put detail into certain panels.
Yeah. I was thinking even the well with the little kind of brick markings on it, again, looks very similar to like with their hands, with the aging going on with their hands as well. Well.
The kind of blotchy, non symmetrical shapes. Or asymmetrical, I suppose that's the word. Also, despite what lurks deep beneath the earth, I suppose she's taught they're referring to the Blind King in this instance, because that's the implication anyway. But more men approach, and these days cannot last. Are these more people coming to join the community? Are these people threats? See,
it sounds like it's not good.
Every panel ends on something that makes you want to keep going.
Yes,
it's very clever.
And it's been over a year. And more men, not some,
yes,
more. So it implies that there's been dudes here before, and whatever happened the last time they were there must have not gone great, because for them to draw the conclusion, like, this can't last. Something not good's going down.
Also, I gotta say, dude, Chill Kid slaps. He slaps so hard, dude.
This song right here is one of my favorites, but though I think it's the one after this might not fit the tone quite as well.
I know exactly.
Or maybe it'll fit
talking.
Better. I don't know, because if these, this gang of different dudes showed up, that a little bit of a different vibe.
Well, let's see if it works out. Oh, go all the way.
All right.
Whoa! See, look how trippy these guys look compared to them.
I was gonna say the character designs in general that Moon does are pretty unique as far as I've seen. It's got
I'm seeing like Asiatic and Mongolian elements, and
that panel on the top right, the dude's eyes, he's got like this bug-eye deal, and the guy above him looks just like I don't know, like something off of a sci-fi submarine.
A mongoose. I'm such a internet weirdo, but that's the first thing I thought of when I saw it.
All right, so he says, "I hear the chimes. I bid welcome, men of the East. Have the wells taken water? We do not come here for aid and goodwill this day, Warden. There is another in your bastion to be coronated, no? What concern, what authority do the men of the East have for such matters? Her journey will affect us all. We have striven to preserve ourselves. Her fate is ours. A bold proclamation for the king's forfeit. Our king is one and the same, adjutant, but we can trust our allegiance no longer. I realized, I think I did the panel out of order.
You did.
It says
It's
no
okay.
matter her choice. Yeah, sorry. I'm doing it on this huge screen, and it's my bad.
No, I'm right there with you, brother.
Gotcha. So these guys show up, and they're not there for good times.
It implies that they have some sort of ties that bind, but
Yes.
that perhaps it's not enough. And it sounds like they're looking for her. Am I mistaken?
No, that's exactly what I think is going on here. And it's funny because I was talking about the game Journey, being an influence, and here they're talking about her journey will affect us all. I'm like, ooh. So she has to go somewhere. She can't stay in this place. She can't. And yet,
also,
whatever
we
happens,
have
affect
striven
everybody.
we have striven to preserve ourselves. Her fate is ours.
Yeah.
Implying that somehow her fate is tied to them in some very intimate way.
Our king is one and the same. But can't trust the allegiance.
Also, what is there not to trust? Is there something involving her or the blind king? What are we missing?
Right. What is adjutant? I don't think I've heard that word before. Military officer acts as an administrative assistant to a senior officer, and they also refer to this character as the warden.
Yeah. Also implying that these people are kind of prisoners here. Or maybe the blind king is the prisoner. Well, he's definitely a prisoner, but these people kind of feel like prisoners as well. Alright, we'll go to the next page. There! See the markings on her mask? Is she the one? Yes. Tilting the anime tilting of the head like we're about to mess you up kind of thing right here. Whoa. Not she falls, grabs this guy. It's going down. While your eyes remain your own, hidden from my charge, do not tempt my authority, else you make yourselves my enemy. I suppose they woke up and chose violence.
Yeah, and then he just chucks that dude, and you can see his arm got pretty jacked up there.
Yeah, also look how crazy long this guy's fingers are. I love it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these characters, especially like the blind kind of characters, they're very long limbed and very lanky looking kind of proportions.
Yeah.
And their clothing kind of disguises it, but like look how long his arm is and look how tall he is next to these guys. It's not even close. Also, she looks either surprised to be attacked or surprised to be defended, and I'm not sure which it is.
Maybe a little of both. I don't know, because maybe the guys had come before and, you know, it didn't get that heated.
Yeah. Also, AC is right. The big hand and little hand frame wins. Yeah, look how good this looks, dude. Like all the detail in the hand. You can see blood coming out where the nails are going into the hand or so into the wrist, most likely. Dude, it's so good. Also, you can see like the rage and the color. Also, that color, like you see, like his hands aren't normally like this. So like, and it's just around his hand. I think it has to do with the effort he's exerting, and something that may have to do with his condition as well.
Yeah. All right. We are leaving. Treat his arm and let us be on our way. I have made my command known. Ponder it if you must, but we are leaving. We did not come here to compromise. She must be taken into our custody. We can only be sure if... I came under the notion that you were of sound mind. Mantle of the Bastion, was I mistaken? You were. I am bound to oath as stone. My mind is not my own to command. Your zealousness will be our end. Are you hurt? Do not fear their return. They are stubborn and proud. Why did they come? For me?
Also, so that I'm curious too, because it's implied that she. I'm wondering if it. I thought it was under the impression that she knew who they were and possibly why they're coming. Is she truly ignorant, or is she feigning ignorance?
I don't know.
It's like I love the little details, like like a lot, like it's so little detail that when he adds details, you pay attention to it. Like you could see part of her hair, like part of her head wrap, and like part of her like cheek and neck just on the side of the mask here.
Right.
Love that detail.
Let's see. Sound mind. I like the warden here says that he's bound to oath as stone. And I think because of that, his mind is not his own to command.
Some of the language he's using in this comic reminds me of a book I recommended to him that he read recently. I don't think it had an influence, but the language does remind me of it. It's very curious.
Yeah. Now, does he mean that literally, or is that figurative? Is his mind literally not his own because of this oath he's taken, or is it more of like, I am, and is the bad guy misunderstanding it? I don't know here.
If you truly give yourself heart, mind, body, and soul to the will of someone else, is your mind truly its own? I don't think it really is. And I am bound to oath as stone. This is like you will have to break me before it breaks. If you can break stone, then you will break my bond here. But that's the extent of it. I will shatter before my oath does. It's a very powerful statement, very poetic almost. All right. Your zealousness will be our end. So what they do, he does seem zealous. His language is very declarative and very single-minded. What are they afraid of? Do not fret. You are safe. Return to the well. I'm afraid the water has spilled. I smell blood on his hands. What has happened to his hands? That has never happened. Men have come and been turned away before, but
okay, so a little bit of a revelation there that the dudes that came before, nothing too crazy happened, but maybe it wasn't great like we figured was the case. And then to your point, talking about his hand being all weird, there we can see in more detail that
yeah, look at that. It also looks like it's getting smaller and returning to normal. Like, this is not his normal. Like, I'm like, that looks like a demon hand.
That's what I was thinking. Even in the previous frame, whenever he's grabbing that hand, it had that kind of like demonic quality to it. His long fingers and that red lighting.
I don't think it's lighting. I think that's his actual color. Yeah, because there was a clear place like where that coloring started and stopped when he was fully into it as well. Also, it's like you forget because like it's obvious to us that what happened in that last panel, but she can't see, so she knows something happened because she smells the blood, not because she saw him throw that guy like a rag doll.
Right. It's one thing that I'm struggling with is remembering that because we are not, and we are
seeing in some part more and sometimes less.
Yeah,
and it's a really interesting. Kind of
but every time you're like, remember, they can't see him. Like, oh yeah, they can't. Like, oh, that totally. You just hear the things, and yeah, that's a good point.
Also, her leaving the light of his presence and going into the dark with her own thoughts, and considering her lessons and her losses. It gets darker each panel, each subsequent. This entire page gets darker every single panel. From light into dark. Light still shines. A pale reflection of light. Very little light. It's very effective visual storytelling. Bada bing.
And now they're playing dominoes. No. All right. Bishop to Queen's Knight 5. No, he couldn't have. Rook to Queen's 5. Checkmate. I have beaten him. I hear you have made your move. I assume you took the pawn? No? A wise move. He knew. Then that means he let me win. You've improved greatly, especially as of late. I am proud of you. Truly. You noticed then.
See, it's like the what's actually being said, and then the context as well. Blind character in a comic, fantastic. Yeah, Maji, Moon's work is very underappreciated. As hard as the guy works, as often as he does live streams, he should have way more subscribers than me, and way more subscribers than he does as well. It's not fair. And Pritchard just appreciating it, considering the genre. I hope his mind is not his own. I still love the poetry of that line. Blind character in a comic visual medium. Fantastic. It's a very different idea.
Yeah.
I mean, blind characters in comics, I can't think of a single Daredevil, but very, very different style of story there.
Yeah. I'd be curious, the very first panel on this page, that looks like Braille, right? So what is that? It'd be cool if we knew Braille, or if that's what that is. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just supposed to imply it and it doesn't mean anything, but if it is actually Braille, what does it say?
No, it's Braille. Fully certain. Whether it's our Braille or not, I don't know.
I guess that's what I'm getting at. Is each panel one letter, or does it spell anything, or is it more just implying the nature of the situation?
I don't want to take the time I would need to figure out what it says, if so, but I'm
call Moon. Just get him on the line. Call him up real quick. Moon, what's it say? It says Kahuna.
What is it? Sopping wet kahunas.
All
this
right,
nation needs kahunas more than any other nation in any other time. I'm sorry, Moon.
He's gonna be like, "This is great. Oh, what are they doing?"
Tremendous kahunas.
So, quite a bit of time has passed. It's been at least a year, and now you can see she's moving. Was that the rook? Is that what that is in the top one? The little castle piece, the rook to Queen's 5.
That could be the queen.
Okay.
Without reading into that, I'm just looking at the piece. But this is my panel, so I'll read this one. All right. Is this her? No, this is him. Yeah. We are now in an age of impasse. Many wish to retain such a time. They cling to a silent fear. There was a time when I would have killed them without hesitation, but the age of blood and stone is over. We machines of war sit and weather in this time of peaceful agony. I cling to the same, but the choice is yours. It is only ever yours.
I have made my choice.
Also, that is the king piece, and he's passing it to her, implying that perhaps for once it is actually her choice. And he is, and whether, despite her winning, it was his choice he voluntarily gave something up.
Yeah,
so that
maybe
she
it
could
was
win.
Letting her win because at that point he's like, she's ready. Maybe she couldn't have actually beaten him, but she's far enough along that she's ready to take that next step. She's ready to make that choice.
Oh, absolutely.
She notices the hands, not sure the significance of that in the previous panel, and then
well, I'll go back and show you real quick. His hands are not demonic in this one. They're not colored. The nails are not long like they were in the other panel. That was a transformation, straight up. It was not just it wasn't a manicuring choice.
I bet he's good at guitar and piano.
His thumb and his two primary fingers have longer thick calloused fingertips and nails. He must be killer at shredding. No. Also, we've been joined by Herman P. Hunter, the Lore Forge, the man, the myth. You know, the legend from Canada.
Yeah, it's always nice to have Herman in the chat.
No, because that implies a deeper meaning.
Life is
Anyway.
like a chess game. You can make your choice, Bucko.
Are you a pawn or a mouse? Wait, that's not right. Now, let me think.
Are you a king or a lobster?
Also, he joined when we were talking about kahunas, that was perfect timing there. This looks like a Pink Floyd album cover. Absolutely. I could see that.
Not.
It's not Pink Floyd. They represent chaos.
So the age of blood and stone is over.
Yeah.
And he said he would have killed them, but he's like, now we're past that. Machines of war, weather in a time of peaceful agony. So there was a time of war.
They do sound like almost like religious zealots. Like,
yeah,
we miss war. We miss the time where we were more than men, kind of thing.
Yeah, and the warden seems like he's seen quite a fair share of combat. And you could see, I mean, he handled that dude pretty quickly, and the others knew not to mess with him. And that dude had a spear. Like, it's one guy. He doesn't have any weapons. He's got a little devil hand. But he grabbed that one guy and scared off the whole crew.
I think it's implied that he would transform more if he needed to as well.
Yeah, yep. And here we're seeing that. I think that is verified, that he said they were machines of war. Unless it's a metaphor again.
You know what this just reminded me of in a really weird way? A weird connection my brain just made. I'm seeing all these acolytes, supposedly, or members of this group, laying down on the floor. They're being called zealous and possibly violent. And I'm thinking of Fight Club. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, all these people joined, and here's this thing, and whether it was on purpose or not, I don't know. It's a weird connection my brain just made, but yeah, you see them all just sleeping on their little spots on the floor. Also, look at this. I just thought about this. The colors of the giant stone tablets on the floor, like tiles on the floor, are the same as the chessboard, and in the exact same pattern. They're all in their place for their purpose. Dude, that's so good. And we see this character, as yet unnamed, takes off the head wrap. Actually has hair. I did not know for sure that she had hair. That's interesting.
And the character design, again, we've talked about it before, but the way he draws the faces of the characters, the hair looks like hair you'd see anybody else, but the face is very elongated, like you were talking about their entire bodies.
Yeah, like a wide, long face. Very, very long. No.
Badoom.
Oh, AC points out that I broke the first rule of Fight Club. I'm sorry. I did. Also, so she's awake. It's time. She's leaving.
I'd get out of there too, man. This place looks lousy. Sleeping on a giant stone chessboard. That dirty blanket.
Also, she's still taking her cloak, and she still has her mask.
Yep.
If you're leaving, why would you keep it? Also, look at her leaving. Look at the shadow. Look at the light. That's a great image. The dark, dismal room. Also, all these ugly details on these pillars we did not see earlier. Maybe she's become less blind to what's going on around her, and she actually, in matters of truth and perception, she actually sees more clearly than when she first arrived. Because this place in the earlier panels looked immaculate. Did you notice that? And the further along the story went, the more uneven the slabs looked, and the more cracked certain panels were, the more ugly some of the details were.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that carry over in the storytelling too.
It's a really cool idea. I hope we're not just dead wrong on all of this.
It's like sitting there like, no, this is all wrong.
Okay, so is this you or is this me? I think this is you, actually.
Okay. So she's leaving, and the warden says, "You know you can stay." It was I that burdened you with that mask. There is a place for you. I will protect your life from all that threatens it. Please stay here.
Also, I feel like his height is even more exaggerated now, even more than before.
Yep.
And she looks even more like small and petite and diminutive than she ever has in this particular panel. Also, bro, look at the lighting. Like, look at the gradient and the shading. Dude, this whole, like, this panel here is a study, honestly. This one right here.
I love the way the trees are rendered too, with that kind of watercolor.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, no, this is an important moment. It's not just the decision to walk away. Oh, and then the bottom panel here, you can see sadness and unsure, like she looks unsure and sad and possibly regretful.
Mm.
And this is the first, like, maybe the second, like, we've seen her face, but this is the first really good look we've seen at her face.
Yep.
With anything to really see. And she looks she's very blind and very sad.
And she's fading away, like her piece of her is lost, right?
Yeah. And also, yeah, no, he's letting her leave, which is kind of surprising. It's implied, yeah.
Oh, he does give her the choice, right? He's telling her to stay, and it's her choice again. Stick with that.
I think perhaps it was always her choice, but she felt like she didn't have a choice in the beginning.
Yes. Yeah.
My turn?
Yes.
Very well. And on the tree, she's gone. Am I so helpless? Can I not even save the soul of a single child? Holy hot damn. He drove his nails into his hand in his rage as part of his transformation, and now he's bleeding. This is now that when they say don't show, don't tell in books, this is what they mean. If this was in a novel, it would not say he was very angry. It would say his fist clenched, his skin turned red, his elongated nails pierced the flesh of his palm.
Yeah.
His body shook as he asked himself, "Can I not even save the soul of a single child?"
I think here you see obviously the hands are transforming a little bit. We're seeing the red skin tones again, and you were mentioning how he looked even taller in the previous panel. I'm like,
And
that must be part of it too.
He looks demonically tall, like he conquers his frame.
Yeah, low camera angle makes him look huge. So it's like in Dragon Ball, their hair turns blonde, their eyes turn blue, but in the Blind King, they're really tall and langy.
Yeah, yeah. Transformation has been a theme of storytelling tossed back and forth between different cultures, but in anime and Japanese kind of culture, it's very much prominent. It's like if there's something physically going on, like or on the inside, it has to be represented by something on the outside. AC, you're an author, man. Yes, right. Go ahead. You have my permission. Also, if you guys do this for my preview in Anvil, I demand Trump and Jordan Peterson do all the voices. Tremendous. I'm a kid. I'm an orc king going to die in a far foreign land filled with aliens. Hardworking, great people. Some are scummy.
This dragon queen is not to be trifled with. Very powerful.
I'd marry that dragon queen and we'd conquer the world. Oh, bro, it's killing me. Okay. Sorry, Moon.
This last panel.
Look at the framing on that, too. That's great.
Oh, yes. That was the first thing I noticed. I was like, ooh, that's a nice looking frame.
Spicy.
Mm.
Also, Pritchard is AC is dying down here. Good. Oh. All right, you may. Okay, this is your panel actually, so I'll let you read this one.
All right. You may believe you have made your choice, but I fear your path is one set in glass and blood. See how you are already led astray.
Also, she looks taller here now.
Mm.
Like she's finally starting to make her own decisions.
Yeah.
Gaining confidence. And yo, AS, thank you for joining us, brother. I really appreciate it.
What up?
Also, glass and blood. Glass is sharp and fragile.
Yeah.
And if glass breaks, blood always follows.
Yeah.
Just a little. Again, this is us trying to read into it a little bit because that's
Sure.
kind of the nature of this story. The story
Yeah.
is very abstract. It's in the nature of it.
Yeah, that's the fun of it, to come up with theories and ideas and then seeing what information gets revealed to validate it or counter what you may have thought. And that first
Absolutely.
line there, you may have believed you made your choice. Like, dude, you just told her to like make a choice, and then she did, and he's like, haha, you think you made a choice. Just kidding. It's like,
I fooled you again, peasant. That's his real voice for anyone wondering.
you do that pretty well. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, no, like when you're doing voice, you just have to imagine like the pompous royal king or the advisor to the king. Stand before me, genital wash. Anyway, so let's see. Now chapter 2. First, real quick? What did you think of chapter 1?
I thought it was pretty awesome. Especially going through it in this format.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I read, I like fly through things too quickly and I don't process it properly, and then I got to read it again, and then it sits a little bit better. But I think going slow, really taking my time, I'm like, oh, okay, it gives you more of a chance to really appreciate everything. And yeah,
and plus with two people, it's also discussion. We're seeing and pointing out things that maybe the other might have missed as well. Like you caught the book, and I was wondering if you would. I'm like, good catch there. But
for sure.
I do think he's blind because he still had a mask on. It would be impossible to read through it. But it was like it's probably Braille, but it's still an interesting. Like it's something that could have been easily missed.
Right.
And knowing Moon, I'm sure we missed frickin' something, right?
Yep.
All right. Now we'll be reading part 2 of The Blind King, Pawn's Game.
And this title page, I remember watching him work on this.
I did too, dude. This page is brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about buying a print of this in his shop, which we'll go over later, by the way.
Yes.
And putting it in my kids' room, just like sticking to a theme. I already have his samurai print.
Oh, that one's awesome. I love that one.
I know. I got it in my, like, I showed it to, like, my sister and my mom, who happened to be around at the time. And my sister's like, oh, cool. Like, no, very shallow, like, basic response. Nothing wrong with that. And my mom's like, oh, it looks evil. I'm like, what? She's like, why is it a crow? I'm like, what are you, Mom? What are you smoking? It's obviously a samurai. There's a sword. She's like, no, it's a bird. I'm like, all right, sure. Oh, goodness gracious.
So looking at this cover, we can see the garbs strung from the tree limbs matching hers. And there is that character from the previous panel where we were kind of like something more terrifying was a way out. And that was the figure that we were shown. And what is he sitting at? Looks like a chessboard.
For sure.
And you can see she's clinging to the tree. Looks scared. I love the digital kind of cross hatching going on, that effect on that cloak she's wearing too. But yeah, man, it's scary stuff. That powerful dude warned you about this guy earlier, and then you see him here in this dark wood, and again hanging from the trees. You know, it's like almost like a head on a pike in a way.
Yeah,
that's intimidating.
But the
stuff.
thing is, she's blind. She can't see this. Yeah, see. It's implied that perhaps others have not done very well at this portion of a journey.
Jeez, man, that's a huge advantage because she has no idea, you know?
Yeah, no. Like, can you imagine being blind? I can't. It'd be awful. But anyway, this is also the subject of his short film, is the chess match between these two, if I remember correctly. Whoa. Oh, yeah, he got crazy with the environments in this particular one. I remember him working on them.
I love this first panel. It looks like the guy sees his buddy's head on the ground. He's like, "Oh no, Joe, what happened?"
Christ, Joe, you've lost your head.
Yeah.
Also, look how flowy this
Oh my gosh.
this cloak is. Anytime anyone buys a long coat or a cloak, this is what they imagine.
Yeah.
Right here.
Not to go off on a rail right away, but I'm going to. Do you remember in 7th grade you learned to draw this letter by drawing 3 lines next to each other and then directly below them 3 more lines, and you can connect the different pieces to make the letter S?
I never did that, so no.
Somebody here has done that. That's like in genetic memory. Well, on the far right of the top panel, do you see it up there? You see it? In the white margin on the right?
Oh yeah,
Look at
right
that.
there. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen that. I was never taught how to do it though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what does that mean? That took me back.
I wonder if he was just like doodling and like didn't remember doing it.
Like it's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
I know, I do too. Also, what the hell are these? They almost look like power lines. I don't think they are, but like you see these right here.
Yeah, or like the top of a ship mast or something, which doesn't make any sense, but
Well, it's behind a hill. Maybe there's a really tall ship in a very deep lake or so. I don't know.
there's like
But this
windmill
environment
technology. It's a power line. It's got a big reflective dish to absorb the heat and send the energy. I don't know.
Something, dude. This environment is wild, though, and
Yeah.
I love the shadow and the light. Again, leaving the light going towards darker times.
I love the palette too. It's very soft. With the blues, it's not colors you would expect to look out and see. It's nice.
Yeah, it goes from like the yellowish, greenish to bluish, purple, and pinkish as it gets later. And you see her walking here. I like the little detail. You can see the fun little roots on the tree. And then these guys who surely mean no harm.
Yeah. That dude's just measuring stuff. He's, don't want no trouble.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. He has enough trouble. Look at that thing going into his head. He has enough trouble as it is. And here we have what looks like your average village people. Oh, but see, like this person here sees her and the mask and is pulling the child away.
Oh yeah, good eye. Yeah.
Reacting to that.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's a small enough village. I think she would probably get attention anywhere, but the fact that this person's pulling the child away is,
Yeah, I think there's
that's
more
a
to that.
nice
Yeah.
detail. Also, what is that, water or just a drop off? Might be a cliff edge.
Yeah, I think it's a cliff too, maybe trees below, or it could be water. I think
It's gotta be water, right? It kind of looks like these trees though, so I'm not sure. We'll have to
Yeah.
see. All right. Well, who read last? Was that you or me?
I can't remember honestly.
Okay.
You want me to grab it?
Yeah, you grab it. Grab it.
All right. If I take one more step, I will die. How do I know this? What has guided my steps all this way?
The reaching out. Like she's there's something she needs, but she just can't get to it.
And she's being pulled away from whatever it is. Like she knows she can't take one more step,
Also,
but almost was like she was going to. I don't know.
how does that? It doesn't make sense. How did she travel all this way without knowing where she's going? No map, no guide, no person there, no
And
obvious road.
And no pokey stick. At least get the pokey stick.
I know. And like if you'd be like the blind guy in a movie who beats the crap out of people at least.
I really hope this character finds a dog at some point and they become like buddies and the dog helps out. That'd be great.
I don't anticipate it. The
I
cultures we're
don't
seeing
either.
on display here may consume four-legged canines. I'm not sure.
So this dude shows up and he's got, I believe that's a sword.
It looks like a sword. And he's a big boy. He's grabbing her. She's very petite in his arm there. We're gonna see how this goes. Edgy hat, or where? Oh, he has a mask too. Yeah, it looks like a hat at first, but that's definitely a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Almost looks like he has a wooden sword. Maybe it's just bronze though.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
sure.
grabbing her stuff, grabbing her.
That dude's
cloak
got an
and
axe, though,
mask.
yeah.
Yeah.
And some sweet glasses. I do like that guy's glasses.
Yeah.
Should sell those on the merch shop.
I'll read this one. Did you see her with anyone? I counted the hours on my hand. There has been no one else in a long time. She is alone. Opens his purse. What is this?
All right. Nothing. We wasted our time. She is clearly of an order. Maybe we could ransom her. Where are you from? You want to live, no? You are alone. If you are blind, then where? I see.
Also, I love when blind people say I see in a story.
So he pulls the mask. These pieces, not sure what those are. She's clearly of an order. Now, is the other dude of an order too? Is that why he has a mask? It's different types of orders.
It must be a different order, because he can see her.
Yeah.
I hope. Otherwise, it's another blind person saying I see when it's not appropriate.
And he's got his hat tilted up, like, if this mask is here, I can't see, so I'm going to flip the thing up.
Yeah.
Unless maybe, I don't know. I'm like, could he have taken it? If they're taking things, if they're robbing her, they know they can rob the blind order people, so they've robbed one in the past. Maybe that's implying that they took a mask from someone else and he's just wearing it as like a trophy. I don't know.
Also, that symbol in her eyes is still there, so it's not a reflection. It's something in her mind's eye, or perhaps representing what we cannot see or what's directing her.
Right. Good pickup. But yeah, that's one of the questions I had earlier, and now we're getting some answers.
Also, it could just be a color style choice, but his skin looks green underneath his mask here. Like right here.
Yeah. For sure. And even in the top panel above this, I can't tell if it's the dude's face too. Is that the same guy up there? He's got like the yellow hat with the orange pepperonis on it. He's got the pizza hat.
The pepperoni hat, yes, obviously.
Yes.
They have... It might just be a style choice for this scene also.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll see. It's kind of like an old comic style. Things were colored in ways that are not typical. Oh, opens her eyes. Kill her, burn the cloak and mask. We will kill her. She would have been difficult to sell. I know what she is. So yes, it is stolen. Or at least it's implied. She will die here. On your feet. Up and still. Up and... Ooh. Damn, he cut her throat, dude. These guys are not playing. Cut her hand and her throat.
I mean, yeah, he probably would have taken her out if she didn't get her hand in the way, right?
It's like that's a good test of someone to see if they truly are ready to take that kind of dangerous step that's being implied here.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like if you prevent someone else from doing it, it's not what you really want. At least in my opinion.
Yeah. So they rob her. She's got nothing of value. And he says, she's useless. And they're like, should we ransom her? Should we sell her? And he says, she wouldn't be difficult to sell. And he's like, doesn't matter. Kill her. I know what she is. Doesn't matter that she would not be difficult to sell. Just get rid of her. And he's like, okay, she's going to die here. Dude drags her up and would have slit her throat if she didn't get her hand in the way, I assume.
Oh, yeah. Put his hand there. Up and still, she grabs it, causing her hand to bleed. He cuts into the throat, meat of her throat, enough to bleed, but obviously not enough to kill her. But it's not insubstantial either. That looks pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, look at the detail, like the fat flesh, like ripping, because it's not a clean cut. It's like pressing a blade into something. It's like,
yeah.
She is not having a great time, by the way.
Yeah, she's gonna need some aspirin.
Oh, I love this shot, dude.
Yeah, it's cool.
Look at that. Yeah, guys, this is the money shot.
Cool panel layout for sure.
Drops her down. That woman looking at the mask. Oh, look, she has no arm too. It's implied that health and healthcare is not very good in this time period and area that they live in. Everybody's blind, has diseases, arms missing.
Yeah.
Being a brigand surely has nothing to do with that. But also, everyone just kind of looks dirty. You notice that?
Oh, yeah. The clothes are all... Yeah, I'm sure that's probably their only outfit. And aside from the well, we haven't seen any indication that they have, like, baths or anything of that nature.
Yeah. Unlike
Man, Pepperoni Hat. That dude's, like, 15 foot tall.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's like, I'm only 13 years old. It's like, whoa, all right. He's Slender Man. Look at him back here.
I was thinking
like they're all
Baron,
standing here.
yeah,
He's big. Like,
yeah,
she's
man.
normal sized. He's a normal male sized, and then there's this.
I bet that
like,
that boy can probably dunk without even trying.
He wears Air Jordans. He never misses.
She might be good at chess, but he should definitely be a ball player.
He's like, well, basketball's not invented in this world yet, so it was either like, you know,
Stick to my pepperoni hat making.
Moon, I'm so sorry. Oh, dude, it's killing me.
How is he doing this? Okay, this panel. Look at the framing on it. This is different, yeah. That textured pencil and the panel creation.
Yeah.
If he was doing that in previous panels, I had not noticed it. It was
Yeah,
kind
for
of there,
sure.
but it seems fainter here.
Yeah. The mask is on the ground. She's reaching out. They're all leaving.
And so they didn't kill her.
Well, she stopped them.
Yeah, but I mean, try again, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't worth the trouble. I guess they just figure she's going to die whether we do it or not. It's whatever.
So there looks like they pulled her over. Looks like she's starting to go off the edge there. There's the bloody fingers from when she stopped the blade.
Oh yeah, this page is interesting.
Why do you cling to the past so desperately? Is it not enough that all I have offered you? See how I have protected you. I have given you respite, and I have given you guidance, and still you grovel. Cast off these trinkets. You will have no need of such things soon. You have looked upon me, and you have seen your freedom, and yet you fear.
Wow. Yeah. No, this is great, man. This is great. And also, like, is it just me, or does this kind of feel like a disciple in the New Testament of the Bible, like when they're struggling with their faith a little bit?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it
Definitely could be. I'm not sure where he pulls all of his inspiration and that sort of thing from, so it certainly could be.
It's also a connection I'm making. It could be all in my own mind as well. It doesn't make it less valid. It just makes it my interpretation rather than what's presented. But a story like this lends itself to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also cast off the trinkets. It's like go out to the nations of the earth. Take only one outfit with you, and do not arm yourselves with weapons and treasures. Go out and do my will. Kind of when Jesus sent the disciples out into the world with nothing to preach. But yeah, again, that's just my own personal kind of interpretation. Also, yeah, the symbols in her eyes are crazy, man.
Yeah. You've seen... Is it the animated moon? Is that what's in her eyes?
You know, it could be. I didn't think about it until now, but I think you're right.
I'm just going to be derailing things again. You've seen your freedom, and yet you fear. Intense.
Whoa, dude.
All right.
Also, there are those little either money or those are braille pieces, I think. Yeah.
I think it's going to be confirmed here. So I believe, yeah, this is, I think she's talking to like a memory here. Most are letters, but this one is different. This one is a symbol of gratitude. Give it to those you wish to thank and no one else. I will teach you them all. That's a cool shot with that kind of like split, and that's what makes it. That's got to be like she
can't
in
see,
her memory,
so
right?
it's in
Yeah.
her mind's eye.
do
Also,
you
I
think
know
it's-
from behind the scenes, Moon has stated that she was not always blind, and so she can imagine what things look like. Also, look how giant he is compared to her.
Yeah.
She's very diminutive and very petite, and
I guess I
but-
was more implying this isn't like an apparition or a spirit. This is probably her memory, right? Like, what would the warden say in this situation?
it's an imagining, yeah.
Okay.
And you're desperate, and people in desperate moments will see what they need to see sometimes.
I really want to know what those letters say.
And she drops them. What does that mean?
And the designs on them.
You will hold the world in crimson hands.
That's pretty metal.
Bro, yeah. Like it's kind of like beige, kind of pinkish, and then it goes slowly into crimson hands, into crimson. She puts the mask back on with determination and very non-crimson hands, and she strides forward.
So the pieces, is this saying the one's different? That's how you thank people, and she just drops all of them. Like, I'm not going to need these in this world. I don't know.
I'll let my actions speak rather than the words that these can create. At least that's my interpretation of it. All right, hey Herman, thanks for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Means
Clean
a
your
lot.
room.
Also, yeah, if anyone doesn't know, whenever we do a Jordan Peterson impression, we're copying Herman's impression because he's
This
the
is
go-to.
fantastic.
Jordan Peterson.
Absolutely.
My Trump is pretty good, but his Peterson is almost perfect. All right, next.
This
page.
is this next page, another panel. I love how he uses the shapes to cut in and form the panels and inform the arrangement around them, just like we saw in the panel earlier with the mask.
Yeah.
Just a lesser extent, but
the
it's
rounded shot here that rounds off.
just the graphic nature of it is like, it's nice. I feel like I'm having an itch scratched or something.
Also,
Just
this
not-
shot,
it's like,
this shot implies the forest was planted, or reminds her of the pillars of her.
Yes, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's
like they are perfectly spaced.
Yeah, everything has a precise order to it in this panel, not just the trees, but the entire page layout is very carefully arranged. It's very deliberate. It reminds me of those videos where they like just organize M&Ms by color or something, or just like have blobs that they paint. It's like those satisfying.
It's interesting she kept the king piece as well.
Mm-hmm.
The black king. She's walking through the forest, and here's where that stick would have come in handy. Right here.
See? Yeah.
But she's obviously being guided by something, so.
And there's even a light, shining through the trees, drawing her that direction.
And she's walking, but she is walking into darkness now.
Yeah.
Or at least walking through it. Step up. Ooh. I remember that. Yeah, I remember him working on this one. Falls forward. Hands fall on this very, this definitely a
it's
rock,
just
right?
a nice
Yeah.
rock. Yeah, let's just flip that rock
Just
around.
a rock with teeth and holes. Where
Oh
eyes
my
could be.
days. Yeah.
Also, I like that the skull does not look like a typical skull. Everybody almost uses like basically clip art for their skulls. I
Mhm.
appreciate that the skull looks unique.
Yes.
She
And she-
feels it. She kind of freaks out as anyone would. Little spots of light coming through.
And I love this panel with the tree that all of a sudden everything seems massive. You know, like that tree goes up. It's like 300 feet tall.
Yep. This is but this is her first indication that this is a dangerous place. She hasn't.
Mhm.
She can't see all the other bones. She can't see the rags of other acolytes who have come through here.
Yeah.
Also, AC brings up a good point. Moon animates, and it shows in his physical product. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Also, the tree feels huge, like you mentioned, and we're finally here. This is my page, so I'll read it. This is a dangerous place. What am I doing here?
I should not be here. I should not have come.
And here's our little guy. Obviously peaceful, right?
Oh yeah, he's just chilling, just hanging
Yeah.
out for like years, waiting. Who am I gonna beat next?
Maybe everyone just refused to play chess with him, and he's just pissed. All right, so this will be yours.
But I must know. So she decides to play.
And the king piece wasn't here.
Oh man.
Oh, that's good, dude. Sorry. Also, look at this. Like, she's back at the chessboard. Nothing else matters. The force disappears. It's just her opponent, and the board. Also, he's like a golem of some kind. He has stone and crystal and leaves and vines and roots, it almost looks like.
Is this my choice? I believe this is the scene too. He has an animated, like a test animation strip, and I believe it's of this scene. Maybe not 1-to-1, but it's the same. With the
It's
chess
the same
playing
scene.
stuff,
It's
yeah.
just a different,
Context,
different level
right?
of it. Yeah. There we go. We have the sun rising. Let's see what happened. Not showing the full board. She has her rook right here. Sweat dripping down her mask. Disgusting, by the way, sweating in a mask for anyone who's ever done it.
Yeah.
Bishop, pawn. King has almost nowhere to go.
Charmander, go!
I choose you.
Yes.
But look
Or
at
she's
look
gonna
how
have to-
look how big she looks here. She's about
Yeah.
to put on the killer move here. Watch,
Oh, yeah.
watch this.
That's a confident look.
Whoa. Okay, or that.
Ooh.
Slaps the pieces off the board.
How many died? Just like this.
Ah, she's refusing.
Oh.
Her choice is not to play the game.
No, she played it all the way into the morning. It
But
was dark and then the morning came.
but at the end, she slaps the pieces off. Yeah.
I think she might have lost. I think that's maybe why.
Oh, I do like on the previous panel again with the use of the shape of the pieces to reveal the game itself. The use of panel work with the game, that's really cool. I love it whenever comic artists do that sort of thing. That kind of
Yeah.
breaking away from the standard form of and it's storytelling too. She's smacking the pieces, and then the pieces that are being smacked off the top panel create the space for the rest of the storytelling. That's awesome design.
Yep. And she didn't she slapped them off, but it was actually just one piece taking another, and then I believe it was just the natural progression of the game.
Mm.
And she's feeling the pressure, so to say,
Oh, okay. So this is internal.
at least in part.
Mm.
Moves the rook right there. She may be trapped. Oh, she's in a very bad position. Oh. Yeah, she's like one move away from checkmate. Huh. How does that... Oh, that's what she does. She wins.
She does.
She is one move away from checkmate. For any AS, yeah, there you go. He's talking about it. She's like, she was one move away from losing. Yeah, because if you bring a pawn from your side of the board all the way to the complete opposite side of the board on the end, that pawn can turn into any piece, including a queen. And his king is trapped here with nowhere to go. So he moves here, transforms into a queen, checkmate automatically. But if he had moved this piece here in the next turn, he would have won. There's nowhere for her king to go. There you go. And now he reaches forward to take her mask off. Whoa! Oh, she can see. Holy smokes, dude. What? I haven't
love
actually seen this part yet.
the way
Holy
that he depicts. I mean, it's like the atrophy of the ability just to process, it's overwhelming. And the way she sees the land there as this abstract mass,
Well, she sees
that's
shapes and color, but not
Yeah.
like not properly. It's
it's
too
too much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's really cool, and it's overwhelming. And that's exactly how that would go. You know, it'd be like laying in a hospital
Yeah.
bed for a couple years, and then you try to stand up. It's like the muscles aren't going to work the way they should. You know.
Also, she took like so she won. Was the eyesight a gift? Is it a symbol of something? Like what is like? Also, beautiful eyes, beautiful, simply beautiful.
And this
Also,
is
like the tearing away the veil of what you can't see.
Yeah,
slowly.
like literally pushing it away or revealing it. Yep. Now in this panel, she's got the cloak on, and then it cuts over. Her eyes are closed, and then in the next panels, the cloaks are gone. So is that her? It's casting away the cloak, and at the same time, it's also supposed to be like the background too. So it's another instance of the action of the panel creating the artwork itself, like we saw with the chess pieces.
Yeah, I agree. And then she walks forward. Last panel, eyes open. She can see that everything's so white, so bright, so colorful.
Yes. Yep.
She almost steps back, but instead she steps forward.
At the
and
very
starts
bottom
walking.
too, man. That's awesome.
I love that. And plus, like, that's kind of indicative of some earlier art panels and things that he's shown as well. It's like she's on a journey, man. What is going on here? This is really cool, though.
Yeah.
What have I done? I cannot make sense of this vision. Everything is unclear. I cannot take this.
Yeah, see, like her vision, it's back, but it's not normal
perfect,
yet.
yeah.
It's not. She doesn't know how to deal with it yet.
And now she's going full Rambo or Ryu mode.
And this is like the anime, like this is a boss fight in a JRPG, right?
He's like, you think your headband's cool? Check out mine.
Mine is even longer than yours.
This is another. I love this composition.
Oh, this is so good, dude. Like the broken tusks covered with blood. It's a nice warning of what's to come. How large and otherworldly this character looks.
And
also has also the mirrored kind of symbolism of both having tied headbands in the sun. And
the way
it's just them.
the headbands are flowing upward too. I'm like, usually like wind doesn't necessarily work like that. You know, it's more side to side. So to see it like that is really visually striking. And of course,
Also,
the sun
strongly implies this is not a person. Look at that, though, dude. Like this is a warning. This is perfect, dude. These tusks. I'm not sure. Are those her shoes or what's going on there? But it's very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, dying of thirst and some sort of tents.
And then someone approaches.
Oh, I love the lighting and the shadow. Like you can see the image a little bit through it, and then you can see the light casting down on her as well.
And I can't tell. Is this a blade going in through the tent here and cutting the seams, or
it does look like it? Oh.
Oh, Scarecrow Samurai.
Huh. Hello there, young missy. Would you like to go on a grand adventure with me? That's the vibe I'm getting. So that I've decided that's his voice from here on out.
Yeah, I think this guy's a friend.
Yeah, I hope so. Also, too many fingers.
Oh, I can't believe you think this is AI. No, I'm kidding. So
this
yeah,
whole comic's been AI from the start.
So
Reveal.
six fingers. Why? Why a sixth finger? In his other hand too, you can see.
Maybe we should give him more of a southern voice. What you think?
Oh, there's another cool frame on that one too. If you I was just taking that in. It's a little bit more ornate than the final frame of the first chapter.
Yeah, it's very cool looking, almost like bronze or wood or gold, something burnished.
Yeah.
It's the light cascades off of it.
Yes.
Anyway, this is what he sounds like. Oh, hello there, Missy. I see you killed that little creature there, hiding here in this tent. Would you care for some water?
Have you seen a fella about 15 feet tall, broken dust sticking out of his knees?
Also, if anybody's asking for a man with 6 fingers on his right hand, tell him you haven't seen me. Oh, bro.
Moon's gonna be like, can you guys not cover chapter 3 or 4 or 5, please?
I actually want people to read it. Oh, Wrangler, you got an extra purty finger, boy.
Oh, jeez.
You got a purty finger, boy.
Oh, my.
No. All right, here. Well, we can appear. Well, there we go. You can see our beautiful mugs. I do have to get going fairly soon, but we can talk a bit more and look through his shop real quick. He has a few more. Foul Rider, which I think is quite funny. It's obviously a chicken. Shadows on the plains. Again, kind of like that samurai piece. I think this might be related, actually. These are both new. On sale, the Golden Swordsman. Cool. I have this one. I love this piece.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, I can look at this and see why my mom thought this might have been a crow. Like, here's the beak, the head, maybe like a wing or feather sticking. But This is obviously a samurai, Mom. It's like not even a question. Oh,
trying to find. I know on here he does have the animated version of that chess game too. If those in the chat want to check it out or rewatch it, I know that whenever he was highlighted on Iron Age Nights, it was watched there, pretty sure, and maybe even again during Comic Shop Wednesdays. But at the top panel, if you want to look at it, either you or people here under films, you can see the chess game that we saw with the creature in the forest.
Yeah, guys, check it out. This short film is very cool. The lack of dialogue, the sound design.
The sound design's incredible. Yeah,
it's so good, dude.
And the animation is really tight.
I didn't know how to add dialogue effectively, so that's why I didn't. I'm like, don't tell people that. It was an artistic choice. Shh. But yeah, guys, check that out. In fact, let me go back. I'll put this link in the chat real quick hoppity skip. 1 second. Bada bing, bada boom. He'll dance on a step in a room. There we go. So there's that. Also, he has a shop. He has these prints of different things. I have this print. I love this print. It's a great little piece of art. I really want this one, but all of the covers are both really, really good. The Lion King cover 1, cover 2, the king in the wall, that image almost uncovered by no text in the way. The character is a little more minor in the frame. That king looks terrifying in that context. Also, Distance. I love this shot. It looks like a postcard from a faraway land. This one. And then the wallpaper, too. Oh, it's free. Crap, I might need to use it.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, this is in the past, 2020 by the Animated Moon. We're time travelers around here. Anyway.
Okay, it looks like the size of the prints. I'm seeing 8 by 10, and there's also 12 by 18. 12 by 18 is a pretty solid size. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good size.
And $30, man, that's a good deal. Something you're gonna look at and cherish for years and years and years.
Oh, 100%, man. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's go over some closing thoughts and such real quick. I'll stop screen sharing. Just bring up our beautiful mugs again. Yes, I want to buy all his works. Posted in the Gilded. That add a girl, Maji. I almost always say add a boy, but add a girl, Maji. Thank you.
Yeah, the Monster Kid stuff he's working on is really. I love those. It's a totally different vibe.
It's so different, but it's still very him. It's very, very good.
Absolutely, and I really like him for his Inktober. That's where I commissioned him to do this for the single I put out. His Inktober is it's his. You can tell it's him, but again, a very different style. It's got this spray painter kind of quality. It's all
very rough,
grayscale.
Also,
yeah, it's really cool. So, yeah, he's got so much good good art, and his storytelling's great. His animation's super, super talented dude, and his live streams again are a lot of fun to hang out in the chat. It's a good time. He's got great music. He's very. I've seen some live streams where the host doesn't really talk too much. He's the opposite. You can ask questions, and he like is happy to field whatever questions are thrown into the chat, and he'll talk to people for hours while he's doing this. So it's an awesome live stream.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, and plus he's really knowledgeable in the creative process.
Yeah,
and he's able to talk about a lot of different aspects of it. And because he has all that knowledge, he has a very interesting perspective in regards to analyzing other art and other people's creative vision as well. That's one of the reasons we had him on that panel on the Lord Otter's channel the other day. He was one of the people who read the first 3 volumes of the Japanese manga Vagabond, and that was quite something. I really enjoy that book, and he had a lot of interesting input to add there. But yeah, no, man. Overall, it's hard to rate this. I really enjoy it. Like, there's no weakness in this. It's so different.
Yeah,
it makes it challenging to rate as it's not finished yet. But so far, I really enjoy the mystery and the story. It doesn't feel like a pointless mystery like Lost. It feels like it's actually like there's an end point in this story at some point, like down the line.
Yeah, it's nice too. A lot of the other comics I've read, they've been more straightforward, like just more like there's action, there's funny banter in this, and this one's more kind of artsy. And it's a nice change of pace from some of the other books that I've been reading.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just checking something real quick. I do have a thing I have to go to fairly soon. 10:30. Okay, so I still have time. I thought I didn't. My bad. But yeah, man, absolutely. And you guys should check out his shop. He has a lot of great stuff going on there. Evaleigh, what would you like to see in the future of this story? Or is it too vague for you to really have an expectation?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of an idea where maybe it might lead, but I don't know. I am curious to see more, though, because Moon is very deliberate and very thoughtful in all of his endeavors. And I know whatever he is going to release next, not only will it be as good in terms of what he's already done, but it's going to be even better. You can tell even just from the first chapter to the second chapter, there were some artistic changes, and you could see his skill set elevating, and it made the story more interesting. And I love stuff like I pointed out with that, the interactive storytelling where she's smacking the pieces in the panel, but then she's breaking out, and then the pieces coming off form the space. Like, he just has a great eye for design, and yeah, whatever he's making next, I absolutely am all in, even if the story, regardless of what the story does. I'm in it just to see the composition, but I know the story's going to be good. I know it's going to be very thoughtful and interesting, because that's just that's the nature of the guy making the work.
Yeah, honestly. And the little story that we've gotten so far, it's very little dialogue and very, very much visually based, which is how a comic should be. Marvel. It's like when some guy on his own is making a more compelling story than a lot of writers in the mainstream comics today. It's really something. And again, this has been a treat. This is very different, even from a lot of the other indie comics and Iron Age comics that you've read and I've read. Isn't that right, Evaleigh? Yeah. I keep on calling you Evaleigh. It's a bad habit. Evaleigh. I'm
fine. My name is Chris. Get it right.
It's like Chris or Taylor, Jeremy, a few others. Oh, I love it, man. But
I know who you're talking to. I've been called far worse in my life, so Evaleigh's nice.
Yeah. My ex-wife used to call me. Never, I can't say that. Not on stream, anyway. Oh, and you would think that since Evaleigh is my co-host here, that I would have had his music on this video, but I felt like with this particular kind of cerebral experience that Chill Kid's new album would be a fun one to listen to. But alas, I'm happy to use yours and a few other people's music with permission in future live streams. And it's so hard, man, because you guys all make such great music. It's like trying to pick is kind of tough.
Good problem to have, though. Good problem to have.
Oh, for sure. It's like, oh, first world problems. Too many options, guys. It's like, oh, do I get the filtered water or the sparkling water? Oh. People in other countries. I had to walk 7 miles to get dirty water today.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, a lot of talented people out there. And I'm curious, too. I know Moon has done some music in the past, and he's done some experimentation and exploration. He's got some really interesting gear. He just has a really unique approach to things as well. If I'm not mistaken, whenever he was on Iron Age Nights 2, instead of just doing this, like I got my built-in camera, you might have a standalone. He rigged up like a camcorder from the 90s into his computer. Because I'm watching, I'm like, why is this picture so like, it looks like an old camcorder. He's like, I did that on purpose because it's like, that's just, again, that's the man behind it and the way his brain works. Yeah, exactly. And just talking to him about music and some of the different things he's played around with, I would love if it would be really cool if he got into that. And then maybe down the road, he's like, this is the score that I envision to match this, just to hear what his take would be. Cause I'm sure it would be really interesting.
Oh yeah. 100%, man. And it's like someday, it's like all these people are so inspiring too. Cause I want to have my own comic someday. I have Moon is slowly working on a piece for me, actually. A bit of concept art for it, and let me tell you, dude, it's gonna be freaking metal.
Awesome.
As soon as I saw the one he did for you, I'm like, it's not the same style exactly, but I saw him do that. I'm like, okay, he can do what I want him to do. He can do it.
Yeah.
Also, so tell people where to find you. I already have your link, brother. I'll post it right here in the chat.
It's funny because I assume that everybody watches this as people that already know me and stuff. And like on Iron Age Nights, Royce was saying, I got to introduce myself because we get in that habit. So Evaleigh Music, if you just type in Evaleigh into most streaming platforms you get your music from, you can find me. I have shifted musical styles a little bit. I've always had kind of a rock spine and a metal edge with my older music, but I did 3 albums of chiptune music. The first one was like chiptune metal with a little bit of pop in there. And then the second and third one were more rock. And then more recently I've gone back and my latest album is more of I don't know, it's like a combination of death metal, a little bit of J-rock, and then it has some post-hardcore elements. So it's got the growls, it's got some cleans, it has a little bit of leads, it chugs at times. So if that sounds interesting to you at all, whether it be the chiptune rock in the same vein of like an Anamanaguchi or that more, traditional kind of approach to metal with a little bit of a twist in there. Definitely you can check me out there. I'm also on Bandcamp if you want to buy the music and actually own it yourself.
Link on there. He's on iTunes. He has his own YouTube channel. Very underrated one, albeit.
I don't post very much. I don't think I posted in like forever, but I am working on a video involving the speed paint of the artwork that Animated Moon did for me. He did it a while ago, but I'm finally getting around to putting that video together. So that'll be up. I don't know. I should finish it before I pick a date because that's better, but hopefully before too long, maybe springish.
Wrangler brings up, don't forget Kikomon.
Oh yeah. I think the Kikomon song too.
He did his own version of Kiko.
Yep.
Also, don't let him fool you. He's being humble and he hates his cleans, but his cleans are really good too. And
thank you.
His growls have never been in question, but his cleans, they're underrated, especially by himself. So
thank you.
Absolutely check out Evaleigh Music. I'm
starting to feel a little bit better about clean vocals. That's wasn't my forte for the longest time, so I've done a lot of learning. But
was it because you didn't feel confident in it, or you didn't like the way it sounded?
I've never had an ear for like singers. I know singers that I don't like, but I've only heard a handful of clean vocals. So I'm like, I really like that guy's voice, and so it was just the kind of thing. The music I was doing, I don't know, never felt the need to do clean vocals, but my tastes have changed as I've aged, as is the case. And so now I'm getting more into it. And then with the project, I did the song for the Tempered record, First Strike. And that, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to do like kind of 80s style power metal. And that pushed me to have to develop that singing muscle a little bit better. And that'll definitely be reflected in my upcoming works. I got other things I'm doing. I've done intros for intro songs for people's channels, things like that, including this one right here. I'm currently re-recording my previous album, at least all the guitars, and adding it. It's going to be a remastered and expanded version of the original release. So it'll have the original 8 songs, but then there will be at least 5 more as was the original intention for the release, but maybe even more than that. I'm aiming for hopefully a late summer for that, but there will also be things coming out for me between now and then. So,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
any
dude.
streaming platform of your choice, if that sounds appealing at all, check it out. And thanks for the
Oh, yeah,
spins and
guys.
the listens, and
And
hope you enjoy it.
He learned Mongolian throat singing for my channel song, dude.
I
And
learned.
it's freaking
More like I faked it for
fantastic.
10 minutes and then couldn't talk for 2 days, but
Oh, I know. I'm like, oh, bro, you didn't have to do that to yourself. He's like, it's fine.
yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
but
It was fun.
yeah, there's that. And also, AC was asking, Avenger Kahuna, question mark?
Mm-hmm.
No. What? It's not an Avenger Kahuna. Imagine a Lovecraftian evil born of Polynesian legend facing off against a kaiju kahuna, and that's what
Oh.
that's what we're going to be looking at.
That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be sick, dude. Like he and I, like Moon and I are talking, and he and I have such a in sync vision for what we wanted out of this. It's insane, man. It's going to be really great. Oh, and Maji says I still love that song you did for Macop. And yeah, that was a hard one for you to do, wasn't it? It came out really well, though.
Yeah, I feel bad because it's one of those things. It's like I know authors say that looking back at their first book, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I've gotten so much better since then." And I did the best I could at the time, but I was new to singing, and fortunately, Macop liked it. But whenever I hear it, I cringe a little bit. I'm like, I learned how to do that better. I learned how to mix better. I'm just like, But thank you, Maji. I'm glad that you enjoy that song. It's fun to work on and different enough from other songs I've created. So maybe I'll even get the chance to do more similar style songs in the future. Who knows?
Absolutely, man. And yeah, guys, he's a great guy to work with. Obviously, we do this show together, and he makes music for a lot of people. Great community that we have here. And I better post. I'll post that link for Chill Kid, his band camp as well. He the music we had in the background of this was his new album Try Hard.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend, dude. I think it's honestly his best collected work.
I would agree.
I've listened
with that,
to pretty much all of his music, and I think it's his best collection or album that he has. And like, there's a few individual songs of his that I might like a little bit more, but as a whole, that's his best album in my opinion.
I agree, and that's, I mean, as an artist, writer, whatever, that's always the goal. You always want whatever you put out next to be better than what you put out before. So, kudos.
Unlike certain
Mr.
metal
Chill
bands
Kid.
that we all appreciate, it's like, yeah, we had 2 great albums, and what about the next 6?
Yeah,
sorry.
It's a bummer when that happens.
Oh, that's how it goes, man. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be streaming later today on the Lord Otter's channel for Dark Augment. That is going to be that's something we'll be doing, and it's in my preview for all of today and Saturday. I included talking about what the stream that Evaleigh and I are doing right now. That stream with a little preview of the last session, so to say, talking about cattle prods in the exhaust cavities of certain enemy fighters. And
oh, geez,
no, it was a fun session, man. But then later today, in the late evening, I will be having Iron Age Legends #2 with MD Boncher talking about his Christian fantasy fiction and his sci-fi dream nebula fiction, and it's going to be a fantastic time. So
yeah, that'll be good.
Anyone who's able to make it, I'd really appreciate it. It's a lot to commit to. I have a massage I have to get to in a little bit. It was a gift, man. I can't reschedule it. So that's, I'm looking at Saturday. I'm like, I am booked the entire day.
Gotcha. Well, it's nice you get a little massage in there. I mean, it's good to be busy, but to get a little downtime mixed in, hey.
Oh yeah, dude. It's one I've never done before. It's like an hour and a half with hot stones and all the fancy stuff.
That's a long massage.
I know. It was a Christmas, like a birthday gift, and like
you're gonna be like jelly after that.
She's like, yeah, you like, it's weird, but you'll want to undress. I'm like, I've never been uncomfortable undressing in front of strangers. It's gonna be fine. It'll be a good time, man. He tries hard and it shows. I see what you did there, AC. Also, for those wondering, AC is also an accomplished musician as well. Mm-hmm. And some of his works that I've used in some of my intros and outros throughout the past may end up on a record here at some point as well. So
nice.
Look forward to that. And he also participated in Tempered Tempered Records anvil
Yeah.
first strike.
Yes. Yeah, he might be the most accomplished in our little circle in terms of touring and actually
Like performing.
being
and-
like a for real musician. Yeah.
It's like, it's a weird thing because like it doesn't diminish. I don't think it diminishes the talent of someone if they are just like a studio musician and they kind of just put it together on their own kind of thing.
Sure.
But it is different when you actually like go on stage and
Yes.
perform. in
Oh
front
my
of-
gosh, dude. That's an entirely different world. Yeah. And he did that for years and years and years and years and years.
Oh, he has that great picture too. Like all you musicians have great pictures of yourselves being
Not
legendary.
like
Like,
him.
you sent me one with your guitar screaming. He's like on stage looking like a demon about to let out the greatest growl of all time.
Yeah, mine's silly. His are badass. There's a little bit of a difference there.
Oh, and then there's did you see Jared Kreisman's picture of him back when he was still like performing like metal live shows and such?
I've seen a couple, but yeah,
It's him
he's
in the desert. It's like monochrome, and it's him holding his axe to the crowd. Dude,
Oh,
it's
yes,
it's
yeah.
so cool, dude.
yep, another very established for real musician too.
I know, man. It's like, man, what am I doing? I need to learn how to do music, man. I don't. I have too much to do anyway. But
Yeah, that's
that's
how
why
it
I
is
surround
being around
myself with great
creatives.
people. If
Yeah.
you surround yourself with great people who have talent you don't, then you create something together that you couldn't have created on your own.
yeah.
And that's
The
what we're doing
collaborations
here.
are a ton of fun. So hopefully we'll see more of that moving forward.
Absolutely, man. But alas, guys, this will be the end of this live stream. Thank you all for coming. Remember, check out
Yes.
Evaleigh. Check out everybody.
Yeah.
And the Animata Moon especially. His comic is fantastic. At some point, he needs to start. He's going to put it into a physical bundle, maybe like a
Mhm.
long graphic novel. And if he does, I'll be one of the first people to click buy. That'll
Yeah.
be me.
Likewise.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Evaleigh Music and the ultimate Kahuna. Step back a little bit.